Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I haven't shot one of these in a while, but I wanted to talk to you. I've been on the road a lot lately, and you kind of hear what people respond to and what really means something to them. And one of the things I've been talking about lately that has really resonated with people, and I wanted to pass along to you, is the idea that very successful people don't necessarily have the best of everything, they make the best of everything. And too many of us are trying to change our situation when the truth is you're not going to be able to change your situation. What you can do is you can change the meaning you assign to that situation. I was at a place recently, I was in front of an audience, and I was doing the opening keynote, and there was probably 1,100 people there, and I'm talking to this audience, and it's, the energy is there, and everything's good, and that's easy to get ready for. That's very simple. But I was also hired to do a breakout for this particular place. So when I was done with the keynote, I went over later to go do the breakout, and I walked into this room, and it was smaller than we hoped it would be. It would fit about 150 people, and I walked in with a Facebook friend of mine who knows me, and he walks in, and his first response was, "Oh man, this room is just way too small." And my point was, I can't change that room, but what I did is I said, no, it's not so much that I'm going to focus on the room so small. What I'm going to focus on, the meaning I'm going to assign, is how packed this room is, how it's standing room only, how it's whatever it may be, because in my mind, that's going to give me a better feeling. I didn't change my situation, I changed the meaning that I associated with that situation. I've been telling this story lately where we had a lady who emailed me, one of our coaching students, one of our virtual coaching students, and she said, "Jared, I just joined the program, and I absolutely love it, and I'm going to start implementing everything, whatever, but I'm in a terrible financial situation, and I think I may lose my house. My husband lost his job," and she went through this whole different thing, and she said, "I just don't know what to do. I know I need transactions, but all of my transactions have been so difficult that by the time I get near someone and I'm ready to make a transaction, or I think they're about to go to that point, something in me shuts off, and I don't want to deal with them." And it sounds crazy, but this was really how she was feeling. And I could have written her back and given her some kind of canned answer, and she would have said, "Thank you so much," but the problem really wouldn't have been solved. So instead what I did was I said, "Hey, are you available tomorrow? I want to talk to you." And I talked to her the next day, and I got on the phone, and I started chatting with her. And I said, "Let me ask you something. Let me ask you a few questions." And she said, "Okay." And I said, "What's the number one source of transaction in the last 12 months? And she said, being in the program, she knows it's 39%. It's referrals. I said, "Great." I said, "Isn't it true that in any regular situation, in any normal situation, any normal transaction, that just about anybody can handle that transaction?" And she said, "Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely what it is." And I said, "Well, isn't it true that in a difficult transaction, you actually have more of an ability to show that they're lucky that they got you, and thereby your chances of referrals actually went up because they see just how good you are in a difficult situation?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, then isn't it also true that you should technically be praying for more difficult transactions?" She stopped, and I heard the long pause, and she goes, "I guess I should." And so my point is, did I lie to her? No, I didn't lie to her. I changed her meaning. When you change somebody's meaning, it doesn't change their situation. It changes the way they act in the situation. I've been telling this ridiculous story lately, how I was at a high school reunion a few years ago, and I'm in the restroom, and I'm in this little line here, and a guy walks out to me, an old friend, John, and he says to me, to a guy who's using the restroom, he goes, "Is that Reese over there?" And I said, "Yeah, it's Reese." And he walked over and kicked Reese in the behind while he was using the restroom and started shaking him around. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Now, you may know where this is going right now. It turns out the guy he just kicked wasn't Reese. Now, that's ridiculous. I left the restroom, whatever. But my point is, he assigned a certain meaning. He thought that was Reese, and it changed the way he acted. I would hope that on a regular basis he wouldn't walk up and be doing that to people who he didn't know. But because he thought it was Reese, because that's the meaning he assigned, he thought that that was appropriate, no matter how ludicrous that sounds. When you change the meaning, it changes the way you act. The one thing I want to get across to you guys today is this: you can't always change your situation. People who are in good situations, it's not because they have the best of everything. It's because they make the best of everything that they have. Change the meaning of what you're in, and I'm telling you, you'll change the direction you're at, you'll change the way you act. Give it a try and see how it goes.